going on, YouTube? Welcome back. It is finally time for the long overdue review of Loki Season 2.
We're back, baby. I'm so excited that this is what we're starting with, because
God,
what a season.
What a season it was. What a season it was.
Truly some of the best writing and directing in the MCU.
That we've seen in a long time.
Period.
Yeah, we've seen it.
And it's on a TV show, which is somewhat sad.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But let's start with, let's give it a 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
I'll
go for it. I gotta give it a 9, man.
I was thinking the same thing.
But like, nah, it's a 9.
Nah, it's a 9.
It's
100% a 9. It was peak. It was honestly.
It really
peak.
was. I think there's so much that I liked about it that I could barely even figure out what I didn't like, which is very rare, you know.
So we should rank the episodes too.
Our
favorite to least favorite.
I agree. I gotta remember.
Yeah. So episode 1, I think, is still my favorite.
Yeah, that was a crazy way to like, that sucked me in immediately. Oh, pause. But but it like, what a way to start, man. Like, it really got you thinking, like how I used to theorize about like the MCU of old. Like, it really got me thinking.
It felt like we were back in the old MCU.
Oh, dude, it felt like we were right at home as soon as it started.
Was great.
It was kind of cool.
So yeah, episode 1 was first. Obviously, episode 6, I think, comes right after that.
Yeah,
seeing
episode 6. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's such like a close one. It's crazy for the first and the last episode to be so good.
That's what you get with good writing.
Yeah, for real.
Let them cook, man.
Like, even the stuff in the middle was like amazing, but like, just to have the way to start it and the way to end it to be your like,
it's beautiful.
They just nailed it. And Marvel usually has a hard time with endings.
Yo, yeah.
And no matter what it is, like, they don't like, you know.
All the shows actually had like a rushed or a sloppy ending.
Yes.
They didn't feel very
This didn't even have a big battle or anything.
Yeah.
This was literally
there was
just
no like, obviously there was a villain.
Somebody figuring out their purpose, which was beautiful.
The whole season was just a story, like, character arc.
Yes.
But absolutely beautiful.
Episode 1, episode 6.
You think episode 4?
Episode 4.
Seeing the light at the end.
Man,
oh my god.
Was crazy. I mean,
so good.
The fact that they did that. Was it episode 4?
Yeah.
It was before. The fact that they did that in the 4th episode and we still knew that there was 2 to go. Like, the theories and the speculation of what was going to happen was limitless, I feel like.
Truly limitless.
After that. People were saying that the MCU was reset.
Yeah.
People were saying that, like, all these timelines got destroyed, all Phase 4 got destroyed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just people that didn't like it. I get it. I thought for a while that, like, maybe this is their way of resetting everything.
It would have been interesting.
It would have been interesting. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it did in a way. But, dude, episode 4... Man, like, it really brought...
a cliffhanger almost every single episode.
It really brought me back, dude.
So here's the thing about putting episodes out every single week. I hate it. I want to just binge it.
Well, that's the thing, is that, like, I hate it too, but at the same time, it's how you get more people invested.
Yeah.
And, like, how you get the word of mouth going.
Yeah.
Because if that had dropped all at once...
It would have been talked about for like a week. And
I was going to say, we wouldn't even be talking about it right now.
Yeah.
Just like we're not talking about the Marvels.
True.
It wouldn't have been the show's fault. It just, you know, it's still probably... People would have still thought it was amazing. But, like... Also, people probably would have been like, this could have been a movie. Because it all dropped at once. How quickly they watched it.
Actually, yeah.
I think the build-up just helped it even more. Like, the endings of their episodes... really got you to want to come back.
Oh my god!
Like, if they had dropped it all at once, it wouldn't have been
episodes.
as powerful. Yeah,
and compared to like an 8 or a 10.
Normally,
come on,
6 episodes is just why are you doing that? And I always had a problem with that. Even 9 with WandaVision was like, okay, you know. But
they're lucky it's long.
They did such a good job
in
6 episodes.
So good.
Like it didn't just feel like you could have cut out like all of that and made
all
it
of
into
it was
a
substantial.
movie. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It all had an effect.
Yes, every episode had a story too, like a beginning, middle, and end type deal. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it could have ended there, but like,
right,
they were really good.
So we got episode 1, 6, 4. Probably 5 when he learns how to master time slipping.
Oh my god. So episode 5, honestly, in my personal ranking, I might even put that above 4 just because of that scene where the time is melting away and Sylvie's listening to that song. That song is amazing.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful.
Oh, just that scene, bro. Like, that to me, that scene just like encapsulated a lot of the feeling of the whole show, I feel like. And that really also gave us a good look into how Sylvie felt about this whole thing. You know, she's seen that probably 100 times already. Or 100 times, probably a million
Infinite,
times. So she's just like, whatever, next. You know?
Pretty easy, yeah. So those two could switch, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But the ending of episode 4 just like solidifies it above it, I think.
Yeah.
Because like that was bold. That was very bold.
True. Yeah.
For the whole show to be building up to fixing that loom, and then episode 4 explodes.
Yeah.
And there's 2 more to go.
Yeah.
Like insane.
So then we got 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
I'm probably gonna go episode 3 then 2.
Yeah, because
2 is kind of just more of a build up, and then 3 we got.
What was
even more?
3 was when they.
Miss Minutes
was
with
with
Victor Timely, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
that was actually Victor Timely. The whole
good.
Victor Timely character I liked a lot.
Yeah,
I gotta say,
yeah.
despite the whole Jonathan Majors thing, just not ignoring that, I think it was a very good performance.
Yeah, yeah.
Excuse me, my nose is stuffy.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's chilly out here. Yeah, I think it was an incredible performance, and even if he really wasn't in the show as much as I thought, which whether they did that, on purpose or it was just planned that way.
Yeah.
It worked really well.
I was going to say, unpopular opinion, I loved it. I thought Loki having 90% of the screen time was perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
How
perfect.
Incredible. Yeah, like they did so well at making him the character of his own show.
Finally. Finally.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I think they did a good job in like the first few shows that they released of focusing, but then like you get in a show like a Hawkeye, and there's like a whole episode where Hawkeye's not even in it.
Yeah, it's a Kate Bishop show.
Yeah, which, Kate Bishop was going to be part of it, so that's whatever. But like they did like a whole episode where it was just like Echo, I feel like, and it wasn't,
Yeah.
There was no episode in this that Loki wasn't in.
Nothing.
And that it didn't. Yeah, it was perfect. There was no filler. It was all killer, no filler.
Like you said earlier, off camera, but it was a contained story.
Yeah,
with just him.
Yeah,
it was so good,
so contained, yet still somehow like showed how much of an effect it probably had on the wider MCU.
Oh,
And I don't think we're really going to see Loki very much after this. I think we're going to see him at least one more time.
I'm hoping so.
I'll
probably cry.
But just knowing, yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I almost cried at the end of this show.
So beautiful.
The music too was hitting. But yeah, I think we're going to see him one more time. But just knowing that he's out there, seeing all of this. Is pretty cool.
He's almost like right there with the Watcher now.
Yes, exactly. He sees all now, literally, and I think that's a really cool concept. So like, he doesn't even have to show up; we just know he's there. And, and if he does show up, that's like a bonus,
right?
And they got to do it right though.
Exactly,
it can't just be like a silly.
Exactly.
My brother runs time now. Yeah, they would do something like that.
I know. I hope not.
That would be a very Thor: Love and Thunder thing of them to do. If they went like Ragnarok, where he shows up, he's like, "Oh, brother!" Like,
we need to see that.
For real.
It has to be a thing.
There has to be at least one meeting of Loki and Thor. And then it truly is a satisfying ending. I think it will be Thor.
Where like Thor's about to get like completely taken out, but then Loki just appears.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Loki decides to interfere with a timeline.
A little pep talk, and then he does
something.
We'll see. But yeah,
it's a good theory.
So now we're gonna try and talk about some things we didn't like, and then go to the things that we loved.
Yeah, we definitely.
And are we glazing this show? Absolutely, but it's worth it.
Not. I mean, maybe a little bit
for sure.
So yeah, the ranking was 1, 6, 4, 5, 3, and 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good ranking.
I'd say it's pretty.
I'd say a few of them, interchangeable. But yeah, for me, episode 5, man, this is sweet nothing. Yeah, what a great scene.
So anyway. Good. So we're going to try and talk about what we didn't like. Or, things we
wish they'd changed, I guess. But there really isn't much. It's actually kind of hard. I feel like we're kind of nitpicking at this point. But
yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
So for me, I wish... I don't know. It's kind of tough because I understand why they didn't do it. Was give, kind of more backstory to characters. They did a good job in this one. Like Mobius, we saw his family and all that. It was great. Sylvie had a little backstory. That was pretty nice. Kinda.
Yeah.
Her own little world, which was cool. But I wish they got a little bit more time, I guess, into developing those characters. But I get why they didn't. And they kind of focused more on Loki. Like, the whole TVA kind of took a back seat in this, which I kind of liked.
Yeah, and they did a good job at
I think it was a nice
being,
balance.
the TVA. The TVA had a pretty complete story, too.
Yeah.
But also, like you said, they focused more on Loki.
I think Miss Minutes probably could have been used more, I think. I don't know.
I feel like she was used more than Ravonna, which is...
Yeah, which is
cool. I feel
cool.
like.
I liked it.
Yeah.
But I feel like she could have been used maybe a little bit more. I might be nitpicking, but that's like a maybe one.
Exactly. See, it's hard to pick out what we don't like.
Yeah. What about
you?
And
it's a little bit of glazing, but not true. It was great writing. It was great directing.
Yeah.
What about me? Let's see. I agree with you. I think Sylvie's whole journey
got cut short.
She didn't really have, in my opinion, a complete story.
Yeah,
but hear me out. There's still a chance to have that complete story.
Yeah.
If they decide to, I know they're trying to lessen their content, but if they make somewhat of a spin-off show, or we get Sylvie in something else somehow.
Okay.
Like, I feel like there's still more for her to do. Because she's still displaced, really. I mean, she fits in with the TVA. You know, she found her family. But she's still displaced in a way, I feel like. I feel like there's still more that she can do.
A lot more to offer.
Well, right. And now that Loki is permanently fixed where he is.
I know, it's crazy.
We need another God of Mischief, I feel like. And I feel like she still could be that character in a way.
Do you think they're still going to do that with the way they're kind of pointing the universe?
I still think there's room for that.
You still think so?
Yeah, I think there's room to fit her into even one of the movies. Maybe not in this phase, but maybe after Secret Wars or even during Secret Wars.
Do you think she could make an appearance in Thor 5?
Absolutely. I think that's the way Thor gets to Loki is meeting her somehow. Like, you know, and I know there's reports that are going around that Thor 5 is going to be darker. But that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean you can't have those heartfelt moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still think there's way more for Sylvie to do, which is cool. I still think that if we see the TVA say in Deadpool,
big chance,
she could also be a part of that somehow.
That would actually be pretty cool.
And
too.
Not even like a big role, just like a
5 minutes sprinkler and
like 5 minutes or just. You know, explain that she kind of works for the TVA in a way now.
Yeah, even just a mention.
Yeah, and I still think there's more for Sylvie to do. I think the whole McDonald's thing was kind of, you know, advertising at its finest. But
yeah,
and I really thought there was gonna be more with that kid, but there wasn't. Like the one that worked there.
Yeah.
I just wish they did more to explain why she was there. I mean, I know that it was because she like just wanted to live a normal life.
Yeah.
But. Like, yeah, I feel like they left the door open for more of her, and Mobius too. I think,
especially with reports of him being in Deadpool 3, maybe.
Yeah, and I think he had a pretty complete story.
Yeah.
But there's definitely still more for him to do. I feel like I think he's still going to be a little uncontent with just working to the office. I feel like he's still going to want to go. And see what's going on. I think you're right. I think he's gonna be in Deadpool 3 in like a kind of a big way because I think he finds that there's an anomaly with this Deadpool or something in that universe. So yeah, I think there's still more for both of them. I think OB.
Yes.
What an amazing character to bring into this show.
My favorite character.
But
right behind Loki.
But slightly somehow I feel like a little underused. Like his ending, yeah, he's obviously the what was his like position? He obviously has his title in the TVA. He obviously wrote the handbook.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing with him and Timely, the Ouroboros. But like I don't know, I feel like they kind of just used him as comic relief for some of it, especially towards the end. They didn't really. I don't know, and I don't know. I know he's like sort of big in the TVA, but. I still think there's more for him to do as well. Yeah, the
first 3 episodes are definitely his highlight, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Then the last 3, obviously. But it kind of happened with the rest of the backstory characters, too. They all kind of got put in the back seat.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of take that back.
It's hard to find...
I kind of take that back, honestly, because...
Okay. Understand.
You're right. He did get a lot of time in the first 3 episodes and, like, the 4th episode as well.
Yeah.
This is a Loki show, and they did really good at focusing on Loki. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I can't really say he was underused. But for Sylvie and Mobius for sure, I feel like there's still more for them to do. Also, never went back to the variants. Never went back. We went back briefly with Ravonna, which what a crazy ending for her too.
Yeah.
What a build up.
Crazy.
Just to have her get pruned right away. I thought that was hilarious. But still, in a way, sort of like, really?
I know Ramona this season was 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Like
yeah, they did a lot of
time.
build up with her plan.
Yeah.
Only for her to just get like right away,
Pieced.
which I thought was funny, but also at the same time, it's like really
True.
But yeah, Miss Minutes as well.
Yeah.
Miss Minutes too. Like
Yeah.
I think, like the way she went out, it was kind of like, oh, all right, she just got taken care of.
I thought she was
quick.
going to be a way bigger like player in the sense in the show where like she's trying to hype up Timely to becoming the next king.
And they did an okay job at that.
Yeah,
but then
and then
they made her crazy.
Episode 4, they shut it down really fast.
Yeah,
Which I guess was, I don't know, for the best because
You'll never be him. Boom.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was really cool.
was
But
cool.
I feel like she could have been a bigger villain. But I kind of like the fact that there wasn't like a main.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I
I
love
like
those
the last 4 episodes where time was really the issue.
And it only worked because of good writing.
Absolutely. So I'm glad that all this strike shit is over because,
Thank God.
man, this is the stuff you get. I mean, I know this was made. Wasn't made. It was made before that. It was made before.
Oh, yeah. Way before.
But like, you don't get this stuff if you don't pay the people like
Yeah, exactly.
properly, and you don't get the writers' rooms and like showrunners. By the way, which Disney's doing now, which they never had before because it was only 6 episodes.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, one thing they did with this show is I think they used the budget to its full potential.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
To its full potential.
I forget how much it was each episode.
I think it was less than WandaVision.
Probably.
I don't think it was that
and the
much.
fact, it was less than WandaVision probably because there was 3 less episodes. But
True. Oh yeah, true.
but I think they saved all like the crazy stuff for the last
when it should have been used.
the last few episodes,
Yeah.
right? In the best way. Though.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a big CGI battle. It was
But
like
even from beginning to end,
crazy.
the CGI was crazy consistent.
yeah, it was really well
consistent.
done.
The visuals were fantastic.
Yeah,
some of the best we've
very
seen in the
practical.
MCU. Yeah,
I love the sets.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
we immediately go into just praising the show. We can't even talk about what we don't
glazing.
like.
We doing splits on the show.
We're glazing without even trying, bro.
Yeah. So you know what? Fuck it. Let's just talk about the good.
Yeah, for real. There was
Let's get
nothing
into
really
it.
bad. I mean, I'm sure if we thought about it long enough, we'd be like, yeah, that was. But my only thing was Sylvie and Mobius.
But it's casual to.
Oh, and never
like,
going back to the
fans.
variants too. Never
Yeah.
seeing Kid Loki again. Never seeing all those guys.
I
I
don't mind
love
it.
that they gave the old Loki like a story.
I
arc
think that
and
was
an
kind of the
ending.
whole point of season 1, was to just kind of
Show what happened.
show everything,
Yeah.
show that this is here, and now we're just gonna world build basically.
True.
And they did the ultimate world building kind of, which was amazing.
Very true. But there's got to be a way for them to bring that back somehow. I feel
I
like
think they
feel like
will.
we're gonna see it.
Yeah, I think they will.
And Kid Loki is probably gonna come back too somehow.
I hope so.
Thor 5.
But yeah, the
Yeah.
good. I thought, I think it was when this whole thing came out when a lot of creators got the first 4 episodes of the episodes early,
Yeah.
and they were all doing reviews on each episode. And I think it was episode 4 when you find out that he prunes himself,
That was one of the coolest
and it was one
things
of the
ever.
coolest things ever.
The fact that we ended up back in the first episode.
the whole thing is an
Ouroboros.
An Ouroboros. It's so good.
That's another reason why
So
I loved
good.
the first episode, man, is the way they set that all up. And then, when it comes back in the 4th episode, so good.
and you find out everything just kind of circles back.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And
And
the
you can
fact
only
they
do
found
that with
out-
good writing. It
Right.
doesn't work if it's shitty writing.
Right, and the fact that there was so much speculation of who it could have been that pruned him, who was on the phone, like, cool stuff like that.
Like
Like,
phone ringing.
you got to
the phone
speculate
is
for a
such
full
build-up.
week, and I think
Yeah.
that's one of the best parts of Marvel is being able to have those cool theories and not letting it be your expectations though.
Exactly.
But having those
Exactly.
cool theories and speculating for the week to build up to the next episode. That was
Yeah.
the best part of WandaVision.
Yeah.
And we got back to that. We really got back to
It was
that with
nice.
this show.
It was nice.
Yeah, when you were saying when it goes back, what an incredible way to do it. I was not expecting
God,
that.
yeah.
And even though they were talking about Ouroboros like the whole show and now time isn't, I just wasn't expecting that.
I think the way they explained it, especially coming from OB, the way he vocalized everything was beautiful.
Oh man, with the pens and everything and
Beautiful.
the energy and
Yeah.
I thought that was really well done. It was
Yeah, it
very
made
much.
sense.
It was a lot like the spaghetti analogy, but
Yeah, it made sense.
it made sense for sure.
I wasn't confused at any point.
That's one thing I guess I don't like about the overall MCU is that there's like 1,000 different ways that they've explained this multiverse.
Yeah.
But I think Loki, Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
and like a couple other things have done it really well.
Yeah.
So, but this show for sure explained it the best way. How they all had the temporal energy and all that stuff,
Yes,
and like
yes.
that was really smart.
So obviously the ending was absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
absolutely beautiful.
You know that God Loki was in most of the posters for the marketing this whole time,
and no one knew.
And
he was just
no
walking,
idea.
just
right
walking
there.
everywhere.
Big cloak,
Yeah.
giant horns.
Yeah.
By the way,
greatest design.
Yes, one of the best outfits in the MCU we've gotten in a while for sure.
Yeah.
I love that it wasn't. I wish that they called him the God of Stories and not just God Loki. That seems kind of. It's like a child made that title in my mind.
Yeah,
but
if he ever says that,
he was
live
already
action,
a god.
oof.
I am God Loki. That sounds so bad.
I guess it will.
He's already a god. Just call him the God of Stories.
Yes,
give him a new title. But yes, man, like what a way. And I've seen a lot of people complaining that there's no explanation of him being able to do any of that. And my
Watch the show, man.
Well, they kind of make some good points, but my only thing, like my only counterpoint is that like they showed throughout season 1 and 2 that enchantment and magic has a pretty weird effect on time and the stuff that they try to, like that's why TVA had a whole thing to power down magic people.
Yes.
So they kind of sort of sprinkled in hints of that like throughout the whole show that like enchantment is pretty powerful. Like it can do some crazy stuff with time.
Oh yeah.
And affect that stuff. So for him to just be like, I know what I have to do, and also to have centuries, literal centuries, to think about it, and him figuring out how to stop time, very quickly. I think they laid the groundwork that Loki's a really fast learner.
Incredibly fast,
and an incredibly smart character.
He's one of the most intelligent characters in the MCU.
Absolutely. Like, not like, physics or anything like that.
Well, now he is.
But yeah, he's easily one of the smartest strategists too. And for him to figure out how to stop time like that so quickly, I think was a very good indicator that he could do something like that with the
Kang
loom.
even said himself that he was the one who needs to take his place and everything.
Right, exactly.
So,
Kang already said that Loki is going to take his place, so regardless, he was going to have some sort of ability to be able to sit on that time
especially
throne.
If it's his destiny.
It's his literal glorious purpose.
Yeah. Like, so, I mean...
And the fact that he sat on that throne, his greatest fear was being alone, but he made the ultimate sacrifice to save his friends and the universe to be alone. Yeah. And on a throne too, which by the end of the show he didn't want a throne, and that was just
so heartbreaking.
So heartbreaking, but so beautiful. Like from Thor 1, all Loki wanted was the throne. And in Avengers, he was like, okay, maybe I don't need a throne. But he's still doing his Loki thing. And
even in Thor: The Dark World,
right, exactly.
His character progression was crazy.
And by Ragnarok, he was like, all right, all I want to do is I want people to like worship me, but like me.
Yeah.
And so
exactly.
And then he found friends by Loki season 1, and he realized, holy crap, there's more to this than I thought.
I know the character progression from even Loki season 1, because it kind of just took the 2012 Avengers and it was him. It's crazy what they did in just 2 seasons, 12 episodes,
dude. And just the one episode, giving him his entire story arc, just showing that Loki, what happens to him, and good. The tears and the music.
So good. He does know that, like,
he knows that.
Yeah.
He I think deep down he knew he was going to end up being, and that's why he says, "I know what kind of god I have to be." I think he knew this whole time that eventually he was going to have to do this, and he didn't want to. And I think that's beautiful. I'm going to say that a lot. Yeah. Because this whole show was beautiful.
So thankfully, the writers from this show are now, as of right now,
Michael Waldron.
The Kang Dynasty Avengers movie.
Which they're definitely changing that title.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. No. And it's not even... I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that Jonathan Majors is in court. I think it's just the whole Kang setup hasn't worked. First of all, it got out of order. Yeah. Because Ant-Man was supposed to come out after Loki. Yep. So that messed it up. Yeah. So I just think it hasn't been working, and they know that. Yeah. And I think they're going to do a good transition to the next villain using Kang still.
Yeah. Hopefully Doctor Doom. We'll see.
Definitely Doctor Doom.
We'll see.
Definitely. If not, a Nihilist, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, whole different thing. Whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
But
yeah, man, I could go all day about what's amazing about this show. And I think
I think most people would agree with most of the points we've had from just seeing from like the social media responses and the reviews.
It's really good to see Marvel getting some more glazing, you know.
Yeah,
instead of like we've been getting some crap a lot lately. Well, they've been getting some crap with the Marvels, which you know kind of deserved. But by the way, that movie has nothing to do with the main characters. Great. Yeah, man. But this show, if we get more of this, and the fact that he is going to be writing an Avengers movie,
thank God.
Is
before it was
great.
the Ant-Man Quantumania guy who was the original writer.
Right, he was the writer, and then
God.
and then he's gone, and then the director for Shang-Chi, which I thought would have been pretty cool, but now he gets to focus on Shang-Chi too.
Thank God.
Which hopefully we get sooner than later.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so Michael Waldron's going to be writing the Avengers, and I think he's going to do the same thing he did with this show and make it a very contained,
a drama, dude. Make it a beautiful drama, and it's going to be, it'll be right up there with Endgame.
Man, exactly. If he can get those emotional beats that he got in Loki,
yes,
dude. Even that scene where he sees the statues of Odin and Thor, just that little hint of the music. And then him immediately being like, "No, I'm not set. Get back in there, Tyr."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Thor doesn't look like that," or whatever. It's like, that's so good. The little subtle stuff like that. If we can get that in the Avengers,
we'll be all right. We'll be eating good that day.
Yeah, we're
sure.
eating good for a while, I think.
So, and as of right now, there's no talks of Tom Hiddleston coming back. Obviously, there's a good chance he might, but in case he doesn't,
he did say he's leaving the door open. But yeah, thank you
for that,
Tom Hiddleston. I know you're not going to see this. But dude, you've done such a good fucking job.
Just in case you don't come back. But
the fact that he started wanting to be Thor and then ended up being Loki.
I know. I still see the audition tape, and I'm like,
could not have worked out better, man. And I'm so happy that they gave him this story.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Tom Hiddleston now.
Yeah, because he's always been in my top 3, and after this show, he's staying in my top 3, probably 2. So
yeah, it's him and RDJ.
Yeah. And him in the interviews, seeing how much he loved working on it, I mean, it just warms my damn heart.
It truly does. It truly does.
It's great to have the actors talking about their stuff again.
Yeah, so thank you again.
Thank you for this rant and glaze of the Loki season 2.
Yeah, so next episode we'll be talking about something along those lines of more Marvel stuff.
For sure. I'm sure there's a lot of good news.
A lot of good DC news. So if you enjoyed the review, subscribe. We're going to try and do this weekly.
Check out the channel. Check out the TikTok. We got some great clips going up on there. We've been gone for a little bit, but we are back, and we're gonna be exactly. We're gonna be grinding because we miss posting for you guys, and like we get a lot of good comments and a lot of good likes and interaction. Nice. It's really good. It's a slow build, but I freaking love it.
I love it.
It's awesome. We're gonna have a Loki story arc. I guarantee.
I hope so.
Oh man.
But thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.
Thank you.